Good morning, everyone. It's time for today's AM Minnesota program. We're going to think about the Rice County Fair today because that's what we're going to talk about. John Dvorak, the Executive Secretary of the Rice County Fair, is in studio. John, we were talking just before we went on the air. Before you know it, it will be fair time.
Boy, it's creeping up faster and faster. It's already April, and I look at that calendar, and boy, that July 21st, that's getting closer and closer every day.
I did take note when I was going home the other day, yesterday or day before. Fairgrounds are greening up and it looks so nice, and I was dreaming about the Rice County Fair again. And maybe, all right, I'll be truthful, all the food that comes with it.
That's right. That's right. You can't forget about that. And got a good lineup. We got a lot of the same vendors coming back last year that we had as food vendors. I've got some new vendors that applied, and I'm getting ready to send out contracts to them. So always trying to get a variety of things. I try to keep it so if you want to be a food vendor at the Rice County Fair, you have to come up with something new, something that I don't have at the fair already. And
How can you come up with new things that aren't already on a stick and are there?
well, I tell you, there's a lot of people out there. They're awful creative, and they do it. I've got a few applications for new things, and I'm looking forward to sending out a contract to them and seeing if I can get them to the fair.
It's just amazing, and I don't think a lot of people realize how much planning is involved in pulling off a county fair. I mean, you guys barely finish up with one fair, and you're planning for the next one, or maybe in some cases getting people and acts lined up at this fair to come back the next year already. We aren't even done with one fair, and you're planning for the next.
That's right, and that's kind of the nature of the business. If you get an act and the act is good, they're going to be in demand, and so you do. I'm currently working with an act, getting an act into the fair, and we're talking possibly 218 that they would have a opening that they could come and entertain people at our county fair.
Boy, that's amazing. You have to be thinking sometimes a couple years ahead.
Yeah, you do, and it's just part of the business, and it's how it has to work, and if you want you try to get something that's reputable, entertaining, and if they're booked up all the time, then they have to be good.
If they're hard to get, that means they're good.
Exactly so. Exactly so. And not that we don't have other entertainment that is readily available, but you always try to highlight something special at the fair.
When you are trying to do this, how do you find out about somebody? Do you talk to other fair board members? The state fair board association, you kind of have a convention, so do you maybe make contact there, or is it all just haphazard, word of mouth?
Um, a little of each.
All of the above.
All of the above. With today's technology, with Facebook, with the internet, um, I've constantly, every day, I'll probably have 10 or 15 acts that will email me, uh, you know,
So they're
advertising
out.
their
They're out
acts.
looking for places to
They're
go.
out looking for places to go, and everybody tries to work out a schedule, so they have a set, they know what they're going to be doing week by week, and if there's a group of county fairs that are together and they're a week apart, they
Oh,
know
they
if they
can
can.
come up from some other part of the country and just
Exactly.
spend maybe a month up here going from
Exactly.
county fair to county fair.
Exactly. So I mean, there's all 50 states have entertainers in them, and all 50 states, there's people from them states that have all contacted me, and it's just at the website, that's a great information spot for them, and then I'm sure what they do is they just go down the list and they just start emailing all the county fairs, all the it's not only county fairs that they advertise. There's a lot of cities that have festivals, and so they'll possibly be at a city festival, and then they're right next to the time frame when there's the county fair is going on, so they'll try to get you, to sign up, and they'll give you hey, I can offer you this deal, and it becomes a game.
Topic on our AM Minnesota program, John Dvorak, the executive secretary of the Rice County Fair, is in studio. John, just before the market break, you were talking about trying to get new and different acts and shows into the Rice County Fair. Some of them you have to book out a couple, 3 years in advance. But yet you always have to give the new budding talent an opportunity. That might be the really popular act a year or two down the road, and something that maybe is unknown turns out to be an incredible hit.
That's right. You never know. I mean, you know, that's what kind of makes this business interesting and fun is, you know, dealing with all the different promoters and their managers and the acts. And, you know, we've got acts that on our free stage that have been coming to the Rice County Fair for a number of years. And they have a draw. And so, you know, we work off of that. And we know that that's what the people in the county want. And they come and see and they enjoy. So, you know, for instance, the White Sidewalls.
Always very popular at the Selner stage.
That's right, and very popular, and it draws a good crowd of people, and people enjoy it, and they look forward to that. So, you know, we try to bring that back, and we book them when they're done playing. We book them for the next year right away, and so we know that, you know, we're on the same page, and we have the dates right, and so, you know, that part, you know, makes the job easy. It's trying to fill in, you know, some of the other free entertainment that, you know, when you try to fill in, and you have so many things to choose from, you know, and you're just trying to figure out, you know, what's that right fit at that right time, you know, and just trying to get that. I guess, you know, sometimes maybe you overthink it, but you know, you want everything to be perfect, and so you spend a lot of time debating, you know, what do we do and how do we do this, and but you know, it's part of the job, and it's what makes the job fun and entertaining.
Hey, you mentioned something that's popular, so you keep bringing that act back. You mentioned the white side rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I think of the grandstand event, something you keep bringing back because the stands are always about full is the truck and tractor pull. For a number of years, and people enjoy that. I really look forward to it. So you keep bringing it back then.
It is, and I think a lot of people, they look forward to coming back to it, and it's entertaining. I mean, it's a great night of entertainment, and it's something that you can bring the whole family to. It does get loud, but you know, I think it's a lot of fun watching the tractors and truck pull, especially when the nighttime comes in, it gets dark, and the smoke starts coming out of the smokestacks, and the fire comes out of the mufflers, you know, and it's
what mufflers?
Yeah, what mufflers? Yeah, and you know, it's a lot of fun. It's entertaining, and it's fun to watch, and you know, I hope that everybody is entertained by it, and you know, as long as we can, we'll keep bringing them back, because I think it's just a perfect fit for the fair.
The other thing that county fairs are all about is let local folks get involved in things.
It
and
is.
I'm thinking of, I always get to be the official judge for the apple pie contest. But you know, things like that, that's what makes county fairs kind of special over a state fair or something like that.
It is, and you know, it's a time out of the year when you can kind of show what you're all about. You know, it's just not it's not only about entertainment. It's about, you know, bringing what you do to the fair, and showing people, you know, this is what we do in agriculture. It's a way to promote agriculture. You know, we have a great beef show that comes in. The guys that put that beef show together do a great job with getting animals in. And you know, on Friday night, it's a jackpot show, so we get a good number of beef cows that come in, and it's a very interesting show. And
well, then look at this. Isn't it the state sheep show on Saturday?
We
get a whole bunch more people in for
we
that.
Do. And then we have that State Suffolk Association comes in and has their state show at our fair. A lot of nice animals come in with that. A lot of nice animals. But you know, just the way that people can compare, you know, how their flock is doing, how their animals are doing. You know, they can be compared to other producers. We show the public, you know, what farming is all about. You know, this is what we have. We can educate them, and you know, explain, you know, what's that judge looking for, and what's that animal need, and how can that judge look at that animal, and then it goes to slaughter, and you know, what the judge says, that's what you're looking for. You know, that's, you know, the cuts, the loins, and you know, how can you, it's real interesting to me is, you know, how can that judge tell, you know, well, I think this loin is this big, and so it's fun to educate the people what that judge is looking for.
Part of the county fairs, at least the Rice County Fair, is pick on Jerry too.
Well, that happens, you know, that kind of goes with the territory, Jerry. And it's a lot of fun, you know, and that's what the fair should be. They should be fun. They should be entertaining, and they should be fun and friendly competition, and you know, I think that's what makes for a good.
I refer to it kind of a family reunion because I go to a lot of different county fairs, and there are certain people I only see maybe once a year at that county
That's
fair
right.
that I go to. So it's kind of like a family reunion.
It is, and it's a time when friends can get together, and you're right. Sometimes that's probably the only time you see them is when the fair comes around because they pick a day and they come to the fair, and so happens that you pick that day and come to the fair. I know I get to see a lot of people that I was in 4-H with many moons ago, and they
I
come
was
out.
going to ask if they had 4-H back when you were a kid, but I was going to be nice.
Yeah, they did have 4-H when I was a kid, and you know, and it was a fun. And I tell you, you know, the 4-H in our county, you know, our county 4-H program, you know, Kelly and that whole staff does a great job with promoting 4-H and getting kids involved and keeping kids involved with it. And you know, with so many different things for young adults to do now with all the sports in high school and all the clubs in high school.
Well, that's fine if kids are involved in those good things, but unfortunately there's a lot of bad things kids can get involved in, and that's why we need to keep them busy with something constructive.
Exactly so, and then, you know, they start that program off in the you know, elementary school, and even in the kindergarten classes. You know, they have times when they go in and visit them, and it's just a great program, and you know, our county should be lucky that we have such a staff that we do to get these kids involved.
The carnival, I mean, you can't have a county fair without a carnival. It adds an atmosphere to it, but I was thinking, it's been a lot of years since I actually went on a ride, but yet it wouldn't feel like the fair if I didn't see the Ferris wheel and the zipper and the tilt-a-whirl and the little kids rides, all having fun.
It is, and you know, we're fortunate to have the carnival that we do come in. I think they're one of the, if not the best in the state, but one of the best in the state, and probably the whole Midwest area. They do a great job. It's a clean group of people that come in.
I mean, they all have the nice T-shirts on that match, and
they do, and but you know, they're friendly, they're cordial, they're helpful. You know, they're not just standing there doing their job. I mean, they actually get into their job, and they try to put on, you know, a good show, and that's what they're doing. Is, you know, just because they're running a ride, I mean, it's actually a show. They're
interacting with the people.
It's entertaining, and they're interacting with people,
and they also have a very important job, tearing that ride down, moving it however many miles, and putting it all together, making sure that it's done right. Gee, I forgot to tighten that bolt, and so it's an important job too behind the scenes.
Exactly so, and they do a good job with that, and they're safe-minded. They go out there every morning and inspect all the rides, and you know, if a ride's not working well, they'll shut it down, and they won't start it back up until they're comfortable and sure that that ride is working the way it's supposed to be working. So, you know, they do a great job for us, and we're just so appreciative that we have this carnival that comes back every year.
And you have to book that fairly far out in advance.
What we do is we set up a contract with them, and so we go 5 years on a contract, and then we look at it in 5 years and renew it again, and just keep them coming back.
The Rice County Fair has really grown over the years. Since I first started working at KDHL and going to the fair, it just seems like there's more things going on, more acts, more free entertainment, and as you have things that people want to go and see, well, they've got parking and they spend money, so almost you got a little more money to do bigger and better things next year, so you kind of keep building on it.
You do, and you're right. You know, there is so much more to county fairs now than, you know, when you and I first started going to fairs. And I think
a couple moons ago.
And you know, they did have county fairs back when you were a kid too, so I'm not the only one that.
All right, I deserve that.
But yeah, you know, and it's just interesting to see how fairs have evolved like that. And I think entertainers had a big part to do with that. Um, you know, the the different types of entertainment that's out there now, and media, social media has made it easier. Things have gotten more modern. So it's there's factories that see there's a need now, so they'll make equipment for these people just for entertaining. So I think it's, as an industry, the whole thing's evolved, and it's going to keep evolving.
Yeah, back to the safety point again, you mentioned the rides are inspected once a day to make sure that they're safe. But what about all the food? I mean, the vendors have inspectors come. I know at our booth out there, we have an electrical inspector coming, and we didn't have something that was right, and we had to change it. So, there are a lot of rules and regulations to make sure everybody's safe at a county fair.
And exactly so. So the rides they usually start coming in, the Sunday before the fair. They'll start pulling in Sunday late afternoon. A lot of the vendors, depending where they're at before they come to our fair, some of the vendors, the food vendors, will come in probably on Sunday. Monday they'll start rolling in for sure, and Tuesday they'll do the finishing touches. But usually Tuesday afternoon, it's automatic. You'll see electrical inspector, and he'll come by and he'll look at every food booth that's out there.
Because we can't have 15 extensions or cords
Exactly
in
right.
one plug-in with a strip
Exactly
and going
right.
all different directions, and then it rains and.
Exactly. So we need to be safe there. Then the food inspector will show up, and he'll actually go through and he'll look at all of the booths. Now, a lot of these places, being that they go from fair to fair to fair, and every week they're at a different place, they'll post that they have their food inspection. They'll post that, so when that food inspector comes, he'll probably know them because he probably inspected them at the last fair. And so they'll build up then they'll know what they're all about. They won't have to start from square one. They say, okay, we know that we did this last time, and we know you were good here, and so they build up a good repertoire with the inspector, and so that inspector knows that he's doing it right. And he'll come and tell me if he's got a vendor out there that he'll come out there and he'll say, we need to watch this individual, and I'll be back. But that doesn't happen very often.
Very seldom.
Very seldom does it happen. If there is a problem, last year we did have a few food booths that were out there that had a few electrical problems. We put them in touch with an electrical contractor, and they came out and fixed it, and they were up and running by
On
late
time.
afternoon. So but it's just it's for everybody's safety. It's for everybody's good. We don't want something to happen, and we don't want something to happen to that vendor because they didn't have something done right. And so it's safety first, and that's something that we have to deal with.
And it's really nice too with all the permanent food booths that are out there.
The permanent food booths that are out there,
they sure have been upgraded over the last
they
few
sure have,
years.
They have, and that's one of the things that we try to you talk about upgrading is we try to do that every year with our buildings. I mean, we're constantly trying to fix something. We don't let it go too many years with it not being fixed because all of a sudden one thing happens and then it just starts snowballing and it compounds, and well, if you'd have fixed this wouldn't have happened. So we do try to maintain our buildings as much as we can, and if we see a problem, I've got two great guys that are on my maintenance staff. In fact, they started about 3 weeks ago, slowly starting to we needed some new gates built, so they're building some new gates right now. We wanted to do some upgrading in some of the ceilings in our exhibit building, so they were busy with that, and so it's just little stuff like that. Maybe the public doesn't know that we've done this, but we've repaired something and we move on, so it doesn't lead into a bigger problem.
And sometimes it's as simple as scraping off old paint, putting a fresh coat on.
Exactly, and we do a lot of that. Where we freshen up things by putting a coat of paint on it every year, and just you want it to have that nice, crisp, fresh appeal when people come into that fairgrounds. I mean, you don't want to have people come into the fairgrounds and just kind of, okay, here's the fair. Wow, look at this. Look how nice this fair is. and we get so many comments. You know, people stop in our office and they'll comment us on, wow, this fairgrounds look great. This fairgrounds is clean, and you know, we do go that special effort. Every morning we're out there, literally with our employees with brooms and shovels, and they're sweeping and they're putting it into trash cans. I've got, you know, every morning they'll cover the whole grounds and they're picking up trash, cans, paper, you know, putting it in the trash. So we got a nice, clean looking fairground when people come to the fair.
Back to the safety again, I had another thought. You have a plan in place, or you coordinated with like Dusty D Stiff all at once. We're having a great time in the afternoon and severe weather is moving in. We have a plan for how we're going to deal with that too, don't we?
We do have a plan, and in fact that was one of my things that I worked on with Sheriff Troy Dunn last year. You know, we put in a plan into works. Okay, one of the things we did, and a lot of people don't know this, but our entrances never were marked. So now we mark all of the entrances coming into the fair. You know, entrance A, entrance B, entrance C. So if there is a unfortunate,
An
or
accident
somebody
or
got
something,
hurt, or somebody had a heart attack, or somebody, you know, passed out because just passed out. Okay, so we call in and we say, okay, send that rescue squad to entrance A or entrance B. So, you know, you don't know. By coming into the wrong entrance, if it's life threatening, you know, then a few minutes might make a difference. And so that was one of the things we improved on. We set into place. And of course, you know, we're always dealing with weather, and the county sets up their command center, and so they're constantly watching.
So if there was bad weather approaching, they'd know long before it got here and already start the plan in place of about telling people maybe you should go home, maybe you should go here because this storm is coming.
And you know, with technology today, you know, you can get radar on the computer now, and there's been many times I'll get a call from the command center, John, southeastern Minnesota, there's a heavy rainstorm, could come this way in an hour. Okay, not that it's going to come here, but be aware. And so, you know, we'll every so often we'll communicate, you know, what's the weather doing, and we'll keep track of it that way. And fortunately, a lot of times it misses us, but there's times, you know, when it comes and it hits.
But that's the beauty of all the improvements, that blacktop. So we can have a heavy rain, and maybe we have problems parking cars there, but people can park on the street and walk, and as soon as it stops raining, we can enjoy the fair again.
Exactly so. Exactly so. And there's been a few instances where we've had, I remember one time we were having a 4-H sheep show, and I got a call from the command center, and they said there's a possible tornado coming in. And so, you know, what do you do? I mean, you know, you send everybody home right there. And so what we did is we monitored it, and you know, we do have different buildings on the fair, you know, that we have specified if there's bad weather that comes in. You know, we send people to the judging arena, for instance, a block building, so that'd probably be the best bet to send them, or the 4-H building, you know, another block.
But at least
building.
when all at once something is coming and approaching, you've thought about it.
Exactly.
And you know how you're going to do it, rather than, oh, what would be the best thing to do?
Exactly.
Let me see.
Exactly. And so, you know, I've got different individuals on the fair board that, you know, we're kind of made aware of this, and we watch it, and we try to keep it so not everybody knows about it, but we have certain individuals that we don't want to say all of a sudden, oh, we got weather coming in, and get everybody all excited for no reason at all. So, you know, we got it.
But that's where a good relationship
Right.
with Dusty Deese, the emergency management coordinator, or Sheriff Troy Dunn, that's part of their responsibility, and they're professionals in doing that. So you work with them.
When we work with them, and you know, we try to keep it low key until we need to. There was one time when we did have to vacate the judging arena and send them. That was in the sheep show. Was in the sheep barn, and we sent everybody to the main judging arena just as a precaution, and we didn't want to take that chance anymore. And you know, wind came and it rained hard, and 10 minutes later everybody was back. But you know, could we have got by and left it go on? Yeah, we could have, but you know what if something would have developed?
Err on the side of caution.
That's exactly so. Exactly right.
And the same thing with the rides. You don't want some kids on a Ferris wheel when lightning is coming in, for example.
Exactly. And so, you know, that all, you know, the carnival people, they have their own equipment too that they watch and monitor, and then we monitor it with the county command center, and you know, just you know, trying to take on all the precautions that we can to make sure that we're running a safe fair.
We only have a couple minutes left, John, but we should probably put a plug in for the Rice County Fair website if people want to keep track of what's going on and changes and all those things. Rice County Fair has a nice website that
They
you
do
guys
have a nice
keep up.
website, and you know, that website, you know, we use it, and we get a lot of feedback from there, and we get a lot of people that inquire. But yeah, that, you know, ricecountyfair.net, just go out there and we try to keep it updated. And I know that as time goes on here, we are going to get our entry forms. They've gone to print now, so just as soon as those will be on the website, and you know, what we got coming up at the fair will be on the website, and so, you know, that's a great place to go for information.
And it's our county fair, so if I would happen to be in another county or somewhere see a great act, a great show, gee, get some contact information, then let you guys at the fair board know about it and say, hey, Jerry thinks this would be a great act to get to the Rice County Fair, so check it out.
Chat, that's right. And you know, there's a spot on there where you can write comments, and we appreciate people's comments, and we like to constructive criticism, and you know, we go from there. That's how we learn, and that's a way for people to, that's what we get a lot of feedback from, is, you know, what didn't you like about the fair? What did you like about the fair? What could we change? Can everybody's wish come true? Probably not, but we do look at everything. We take it very serious.
We only have about a minute left, but we should probably get a thank you in to the support that the fair gets from the Rice County Commissioners, because it's actually county property where that fair sits on, right?
It is, and you know, we appreciate all the support we get from our county commissioners. I appreciate all the help and support I get from our volunteers, and we're always looking for people that want to help out. If you want to be a volunteer at the Rice County Fair, you know, go onto our website or give me a call. We gladly take any help we could get. You know, if you want to be a part of this great organization, or just be a little part of this great organization, you know, we'll gladly take all the help we can get.
I think my job is to let everybody pick on me when I'm out there. I think I'm doing my fair
I think
share.
you're doing your job.
Always enjoy visiting with you, John. You'll be back in about a month with another update on the Rice County Fair. Thanks for stopping by.
I want to take this time and say thank you to KDHL. You guys promote us very well, and we appreciate everything you do.